All right, what's up, YouTube? This is BoxingWave. Now, we all know by now that Canelo Alvarez vacated the title. He is no longer the WBC champion at 160, okay? Golovkin has been elevated. Golovkin holds the WBC title now at 160. And according to Team Canelo, they said that they did not want to try to meet any deadlines or anything. All right, the fight is still in negotiations, okay? They still have interest in fighting Golovkin, all right? In the next fight, all right? Now, do I believe that? No, I don't, all right? I don't think Canelo wants to fight Gennady Golovkin, all right? I don't think he ever wanted to fight Golovkin, and at least not now, all right? Maybe when maybe when Golovkin's a little older, he's slipping up, there's some weaknesses, he's not the same. Maybe at that time he'll fight Golovkin, but I don't believe Canelo wants to fight Gennady Golovkin. I think Canelo is scared of Gennady Golovkin just like everybody else at 160, and he does not want to take the fight, okay? That's my personal opinion. If the fight does happen next and there's no catch weight, it's not 155, then, which it won't be because Gennady Golovkin did not take the fight at 155 before. He's not going to take it now that he has the title. All he wants is the title. Remember, his primary goal, and I'm basing this all off what these fighters say, what their camps say. Gennady Golovkin wants to be undisputed, okay? That's his main goal. His main goal is to be undisputed, not to fight Canelo Alvarez, okay? So he wants to fight, obviously, but he does not want to fight at the catch weight, all right? Both of these guys are middleweights, regardless of what Canelo says, okay? Fighting at 155, that means you are a middleweight. Canelo weight is still a middleweight weight, okay? He's still middleweight. He's above 154. He's above junior middleweight. He is a middleweight. He walks around as a middleweight, okay? Well, not as a middleweight, well above a middleweight. He weighs in on fight night well above the middleweight. He weighs more than many other middleweights, all right, that come down to. All of these fighters drain themselves, but Canelo has been doing it, and he drains himself much lower than most middleweights, all right? The point of this video, the reason why I wanted to bring up this video is because I wanted to discuss a few things. I've learned a few things since the whole vacating news came out, all right? And I want to bring up those points, and I also want to respond to some of the people that leave comments in my videos, all right? Now, most Canelo fans, all right? Most Canelo supporters, all right? There's nothing wrong with being a Canelo supporter, okay? I like Canelo Alvarez, but I'm going to call him out on his bullshit, okay? I know he's afraid of Gennady Golovkin, and I'm not going to give him a pass on that, all right? I'm not going to give him a pass for vacating the title, okay? I'm not going to give him a pass for it. Sorry, I'm not going to give it. I'm not going to do it, okay? You can still like the guy, but if he does something, you don't have to support every single thing he does. Now, the Canelo supporters, what they're saying as far as making excuses for him, they say that, well, Canelo's the A side. You got to go by his rules, okay? If he wants to fight at 155, Gennady Golovkin should come down to 155, all right? No, he doesn't, okay? No, he doesn't, all right? They are both middleweights. You might not want to believe, and you might tell yourself that he's not a middleweight because Canelo says he's not a middleweight and he's going to continue fighting at 155, but Canelo is indeed a middleweight, okay? These guys are not fighting as separate divisions where they're trying to meet in the middle, okay? Canelo is fighting at 155. He has been for his past 5 fights now, okay? He hasn't fought at 154. And even if he wanted to fight at 154 or a champion at 154, if he fought Lara or one of the Charlos or Liam Smith, he can't win the title because he's not fighting below 155, okay? So Canelo is a middleweight, all right, regardless of what you feel. And even though there's other people, a lot of people say, oh, Floyd and Manny Pacquiao and all of these other fighters that fight at catchweight, even Adrian Broner with Sean Porter, there's other fighters that fight at catchweights. I understand that. But the difference is these guys are both in the same division, okay? They're at the same weight class, okay? And unlike Canelo Alvarez and everybody else in the middleweight division, these guys fight at the limit, whereas Canelo is fighting 1 pound above the smaller division, okay? And he's doing it consistently, okay? There is a difference, all right? He is a middleweight, yet he's fighting at the lowest weight in that division, okay? And enforcing it, all right? The thing is, he's using it as an advantage. And I've said this already in my video, but I want to explain to these guys that say that he is the A side. I understand he's the A side. Plenty of fighters are the A side, okay? Plenty of fighters agree to the B side too, like Kovalev going and James DeGale, okay, being champions and going to other countries to beat guys in their backyard, all right? Kovalev can be like, I'm the A side, I want to fight where I choose, and I want this amount and this amount. He can be that way. Not every fighter acts like that, even if they are the A side. Not every fighter does that. Only certain fighters do it, okay? And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, because I understand that Canelo is a cash cow. I understand that. But what he's doing is taking the catch weight and he's taking full advantage of it, and he's doing things that no other fighters are doing. He's taking it to a level when it comes to this catch weight thing, okay? He's not trying to meet in the middle, and he's not trying to make sure that the size is an advantage to his opponents. No, what he is doing is trying to drain guys at 160 that's never fought below 160. All right, guys that were naturally bigger than Canelo at one point, that's always been fighting at 160 and still have a hard time, like Lemieux, and I'm going to bring him up in a minute. Guys that's been fighting at 160 can't come down, and he's trying to drain these fighters, okay? There's a major issue with that. You're trying to get Gennady Golovkin come out at 155 when you know the guy is 34 years old and he's never fought below 160. He hasn't done it. Okay, Canelo, he has fought at much lighter weights. He came up fighting under, what did he start at? 135, 140, even 147, wherever he started at, all right? He's grown, okay? He's in his mid-20s now, all right? Now he's growing into a middleweight. He is a middleweight, okay? He can't make 154 anymore, all right? So there's a difference, all right? He's getting bigger guys that were naturally bigger at one point. Now they're not, because Canelo is up there with them. Yet he's still trying to drain those guys because he was able to cut down in the lower weights before. So it's easier for him to come down to 155 because he's fought below this weight before. Whereas these guys at 160, they always been fighting at 160. So it's just a clear advantage for Canelo. It's not a fair game here where they're trying to meet in the middle like we've seen in other fights. Like when we first originally saw when De La Hoya came from 154 to 147 to fight Manny Pacquiao, who was moving up for 135, who went up 2 divisions. It's a total it's a difference, okay? Another thing is that I hear a lot is the business. It's a business. A lot of excuse. This is the business. Listen, I know the sport of boxing is a business, okay? This is my thing. If it's all about business and it's all about fighting names and stuff like that, then Canelo can stay at 155 and continue fighting guys like Amir Khan. He doesn't have to fight middleweights, okay? All right? If he is a cash cow and if he is the A side, just fight names. Fight guys from 147 or 154 that have big names. Now, 154, it's not really super mega popular guys at 154. There's not. Let's be honest. If Canelo has a fight and it's a pay-per-view fight and he wants another big name, okay? Guys at 154, they're not really pay-per-view draws. The Charlos, Lara fought on pay-per-view because of Canelo. But, Lara, Andrade, a lot of the guys at 154 that people want to see Canelo fight, these are not big name guys, okay? But there's a lot of guys at 147 that's willing to go up and probably fight Canelo if given the opportunity, I'm sure like Tim Bradley's on HBO. I'm sure Tim Bradley might take the fight if it's possible, We heard Manny Pacquiao's name. We've heard plenty of names. So if he wants to make it just about business, then fight at 155 against guys that's willing to fight you at 155, okay? But when it comes to 160, when it comes to guys that don't want to come down to your catch weight like Golovkin, you got to give them, the fans, what the fans got to understand is that they have a good reason not to want to come down to 155 because they can't. They can't without draining themselves. And I know Golovkin said he'll come down to fight Floyd, but who wouldn't? Fighters would risk getting drained to fight Floyd because Floyd is Floyd. Canelo is not Floyd, and I don't see why people don't understand that Canelo is not on that level. He is a pay-per-view star, but he's not on a level as Floyd Mayweather, okay? He's not. All right? Now, Lemieux. I didn't know this, but, I read an article today that Lemieux is interested in fighting Canelo, as we all expected, okay? They're both Golden Boy. Lemieux's fighting at 160, okay? People know him now. He fought Golovkin on pay-per-view, even though it didn't do great numbers. People are aware of David Lemieux, okay? It makes sense, all right? It makes sense. The only problem is Lemieux does not want to fight at 155, all right? He doesn't want to fight at that weight. He said he can barely make 160. A fight recently was canceled because he couldn't, he was at 165. He weighed 165. This is what I read in the article. So the guy is having trouble making 160. He definitely can't make 155. And I think he's been a career middleweight. And then you have Saunders. Now, Saunders recently spoke out about Canelo vacating the title. He wasn't a fan of it, okay? He said he would lose sleep knowing that he gave away his title. He would never vacate his title. This is what Billy Joe Saunders said, okay? He even went on to say that he would love to fight Canelo. He would definitely outbox Canelo, all right? But, these are all the things that... Now, I didn't see him say anything about the Canelo weight, the 155 catch weight, And I did a quick Google search, and I found a video that was on Fight Hype that Billy Joe Saunders did leading up to the Amir Khan fight. And in this video, he said that he thinks Amir Khan has a chance of winning, all right? Obviously, we know Amir Khan got knocked out. But he said that he's not a fan of catchweights. He said he wouldn't fight at a catchweight, So in this video, this was back in March, all right? So we all been speculating the names like Lemieux and Saunders has been coming up as far as being a potential opponent for Canelo. But these guys don't seem to be a fan of catchweights. So I'm not really sure if these fights are possible because Lemieux said he can't come down to 155 in the most recent article that was on Boxing Scene. And then in a past video, I seen Saunders say he's not a fan of the catchweight, and he's not a fan of Canelo vacating his titles and everything like that. So what is Canelo going to do? What is he going to do? And I'm glad they don't want to fight him. Honestly, I think no middleweight should fight Canelo. I think no middleweight should fight Canelo Alvarez at 155. Okay? Unless they can fight at 154 as well, like Gabe Rosado, who goes back and forth, I don't know if Curtis Stevens would fight Canelo. That is a possible matchup, okay? Curtis Stevens did fight at 154. That's a guy that probably could still make 154 because he's he's very short, okay? He's very short. He's stocky, but he's very short at middleweight. I'm sure he could probably cut down to the weight. So maybe that fight will happen. But in my opinion, championship fighters at 160 should not fight Canelo. They shouldn't fight Canelo. All right, I know it's a good opportunity. You might make money, but you're not going to go in a fight healthy. You're not going to be 100%. Is it worth the few millions that you might make more fighting Canelo to drain yourself and lose a fight? Because most likely chances are you're going to lose. Canelo's going to have the judges on his side, especially if it's an arena that Canelo wants to fight in. We already seen what happened before on the scorecards with Canelo fights. It doesn't make sense. So all the people that's out there that want to just defend Canelo and whatever he does, listen, we know it's a business, okay? We know it's a business. If it's going to be all about business, he can stay at his weight and find opponents with names that are willing to either move down or move up to fight him, okay? It's according to what I'm seeing here, Golovkin, Lemieux, and even Saunders don't seem to be too happy about moving down to 155, okay? He's going to have a hard time finding a guy at middleweight with a name that's going to, or some kind of championship status that's going to come down to fight him. And then at 154, if he does fight a champion at 154, he would have to come down to fight, below 155. He would have to come down to 154 in order to win a title if he does fight a champion at 154. So it's starting to look like, to me, that Canelo is going to have to just keep it business and fight names, fight guys that's willing to come up from 147 or whoever, because the guys at 147 have bigger names than they do at 154. So if there's a guy that's willing to come up, that's the only kind of fights he's going to get, because there's no one really out there for him to fight like that, at that catch weight. If he wants to stay at 155, he's going to have trouble. Now, if he let off the 155 and willing to move up a couple of pounds, maybe not go straight to 160, but say, listen, I'll move to 157. I'll move to 158. Lemieux, can you make 158? Triple G, can you make 158? To make the fight happen? Let's meet in the middle. If that happens, then fine. Still, I don't think it should happen neither. I don't think there should be no catch weight. If you're fighting another middleweight, there should be absolutely no catch weight if you're fighting another middleweight, okay? That's just my opinion. But some of these fighters at 160 might do it because of money. But 155, that's extremely too low. That's extremely too low, in my opinion, all right? I don't think any fight should happen, all right? I think they should totally boycott that guy. But I understand it's a business. Like you guys keep saying, it's a business, and people are going to do it anyway, all right? But listen, I don't know what Canelo wants to do, but he obviously has the star power. Fight anybody you want that's willing to fight you at 155, at this point. The titles are not going to be there, all right? Being that you're fighting at a catch weight of 155, you're eliminating opportunities to win a title. You can't win one at 154 because you're too heavy. You can't win one at 160 because these guys are not forced to fight you at your catch weight. So what are you going to do as far as winning a title? Does he care about winning a title? I mean, obviously he don't, not that much if he's able to just vacate his title like he just did this past week. So I don't know what he's going to do. I don't know. I think, me personally, if he's going to stay at that weight, just find names and fight on pay-per-view. Tim Bradley, Manny Pacquiao, whoever with a name. Somebody like Amir Khan, someone with a name. Just keep fighting names. Maybe get Danny Garcia. I don't know. At 154, I don't really know because there's no really big names there. There's no big names. And I'm talking pay-per-view. If he doesn't fight on pay-per-view and he fights on regular HBO like he did against Kirkland, then he has a little bit more to work with because he doesn't have to fight a huge name, in order to, have a fight. But I think the pressure is coming, and honestly, I want to keep the pressure going because this is ridiculous, But Canelo could do whatever he wants to do, all right? But all this business or A-side talk, this is why the sport is the way it is now because I know you guys that like Canelo, it's cool because Canelo's doing it. Once you have a fighter that, let's say if Canelo wants to fight someone that's doing the same to him, or another two, you could take two other fighters, and what if they're doing the same thing? You're not going to like it when it's done then, all right? What Canelo is doing is totally, he's actually making the catch, he's actually the worst catch weight fighter ever right now. Because he's taking a weight and he's fighting consistently at this weight, no matter who he fights. All right? So I think he's getting to that point to being the worst catch weight fighter ever. He's taking it to another level. Other fighters have done it, but he's taking it too far, in my opinion. All right? Fight Miguel Cotto. Fight Miguel Cotto, because that's another name and a guy that's probably would fight you again. I think it's very possible that the Miguel Cotto fight, if we're going to keep it business, if we're going to keep it about making money, all right, and fighting whoever you want, and now in the Cotto rematch, you're actually the A-side. Fight Miguel Cotto again, because Miguel Cotto, like you, has a name. It would be a pay-per-view. It wouldn't sell as much as the first fight did because we already know who won the first fight, all right? I thought the fight was competitive, so fight Miguel Cotto again, try to go for the knockout. Try to retire Miguel Cotto, Obviously, I wouldn't want that to happen because I'm a Cotto fan, but fight him again because that's a name there that is willing to fight you at your Canelo weight, and it won't be too much of a problem, all right? And you could do that at pay-per-view again, It wouldn't do 900K, but it might still do 500, I don't know. But if I'm talking business, because that's what everyone is saying, that it's about the business. It's all about business. It's not about finding the best or anything. It's about just straight business. So if it's about straight business, fight a big name, make your money, and let's keep it at that. Who cares about titles? Who cares about any of that? Let's just make it all about names only and keep it at that, because you can't fight for your titles because I already explained why. All right. So that's the end of my video. All right, and I'll see you guys on the next one.